The Nigerian Minister of Interior, Olubumi Tunji Ojo, announced that 7 suspected Boko Haram slash ISWAP commanders were arrested at Musa Yaradua International Airport, Katsina, while returning from 2026 Hajj in Saudi Arabia.
You see, one of the biggest security stories this week is the announcement by the federal government that 7 suspected Boko Haram and ISWAP commanders were arrested at Katsina Airport while returning from the 2026 Hajj pilgrimage. Another, according to the Minister of Interior, the arrests were made possible through Nigeria's integrated identity management system, linking the NIN database, immigration records, and international security platforms. The question is, if these arrests were indeed made through integrated digital identity systems, would you describe this as a major breakthrough in Nigeria's intelligence-led security strategy? And does it appear that we are using technology now to trace, track, and arrest, terrorists?
Yes, I think it's a big breakthrough. It's something that we should be happy about. I am first intrigued that the same people who kill for fun felt the need to go for pilgrimage in Mecca. I'm sure that the authorities there didn't know that these guys were into terrorism. Otherwise, they would most likely have stopped them from coming to the Holy Land. But they went to the Holy Land and returned to Nigeria. They thought that our air borders were just as porous as our land borders. But they were mistaken. They were mistaken. So what, according to the minister, what is happening is that the NIMCID is already connected with and the database already linked to Interpol. So with that in mind, Interpol can hint the Nigerian authorities about the movement of some individuals, and they will simply wait for them to land. So what I'm saying is that with our NIMC ID already connected with immigration database and operating 24/7, linked with Interpol, it will be difficult for these fellows to have to move around freely, because the eyes of Interpol will be on them, and Interpol is directly interfacing with Nigerians, so they can share information that will lead to the arrest of these individuals, and that is what happened. I'm sure that Nigerian authorities were notified about the fact that these guys were on board, and as soon as they landed, and you see, they didn't land in Lagos, for example. They decided to land in Katsina. From there, they will have just easily moved into their camps. But the Nigerian authorities were alerted, and immediately they landed in Katsina. Since they didn't know they were being trailed anyway, they were arrested and then handed over to the DSS. The DSS has been prosecuting a lot of these terrorists lately. So we are looking forward already for their arraignment by the DSS, and the DSS has had some convictions against some of these bad boys. So we look forward to the DSS putting them on trial. But this is a very significant move. It means that we can get hold of some of these guys without firing a shot. So if we have information about their movement, if we have information about intel about their location, we can just catch them like you catch a rat. So that's what happened to them. 7 of them is significant. Even one, if you get hold of a terrorist, is a significant development. Now to get 7 is really big. So we have to continue to automate our systems, get them linked with our international partners so that we can work together, share information about the movement of the bad boys, and ultimately get hold of them and bring them to book.
Interesting. So very quickly before we go, many Nigerians are asking a very difficult question that yes, we see that the our security is being strengthened, intelligence is being strengthened rather. That if these individuals were already known security threats, how were they able to travel for Hajj in the first place? Does this suggest that there are still loopholes somewhere within the security architecture?
There certainly must be, because I remember that it was the Senate president who said some terrorists went to Hajj. How were they able to go to Hajj? I'm sure he must have received some intelligence that some Nigerian terrorists traveled for holy pilgrimage. So, and the good thing is that ultimately we got hold of them. I don't know how they managed to go out, but it is possible. Perhaps just like what drug traffickers do, they sometimes exploit airports that have loose security measures in place. Remember what happened in Adama when a politician's wife who was not traveling, who did not have a boarding pass, got as far as the foot of the aircraft, to interact with her husband. If you are not a traveling passenger, you have no business getting to the foot of an aircraft. So some airports are loose in terms of security, some are not so loose, and criminals like to take advantage of those ones where security is usually lax. I know this from some of the reports that I've read about drug trafficking and some of the confessions that they've made. There are some airports that they like to use. There are some that they don't like to use. In terms of even scanning machines and security structures put in place, as somebody who travels a lot within our country, I know that there are some airports where I'm subjected to so much scrutiny. Whereas in some airports, they simply wave at you. Some of them will even just call my name. They say, you don't need to show your ID card. We know you already. So such things happen. They must have used an airport that they felt the security would not be that tight. But it's a wake-up call for us to do a much better job next time. They should have been arrested at the point when they wanted to leave Nigeria. So it's a shame that we now got hold of them after they got here. What if they chose to not come back home?
We'll come back.
So we will have lost an opportunity to put bad boys on trial.
Yeah.